find him and he just has some of the stuff. But, you know, he might just be a dog that is wobbly, and it's gonna be like that, and the clients need to know that, you know, it's a possibility that there could be some things down the line, but it's not, you know, it's not something that we're going to surgery for, you know, and he's adoptable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just
Someone will know he's not going to be a runner.
He's not going to be a runner, but the right home. I mean, it's certainly not going to be like we have to put all this money into this dog, and all these other animals aren't going to get adopted because of that.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't think so. But let's put him down on the ground. You know, because I mean, we're not all perfect.
Sit. Lie down.
And I'll pull Steph Chef in here too and just switching things. But with range of motion like that in the neck, I'm palpating, I'm not getting any sense of discomfort. It doesn't feel like there's really something painfully going on there, that there's a structural problem. He might have just hurt himself and have some permanent damage from it.
Stop. Please stop.
So he's found on the street?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so likely that
Maybe his
he
hip.
could have gotten bitten. Ow. You know? That causes nerve damage. Or can. Oh, you're so silly.
Okay, wait. Hey. Why did you look so calm in the video?
No one handled me this way.
Hey, that's the other good thing. When they come for therapy, they learn to settle down fast and get handled. Like Griffin, you couldn't do any of this in the eval, and then probably by the third acupuncture, I do have to hold him.
Is he with a rescue?
No, I think they put him down. He got adopted the second home. He bit the roommate, and then the second time he went after the roommate. So I was like, hey.
Okay, stop.
Can you hand me the treat jar?
You know, the way he's moving his neck around is pretty good. I mean, you know, when you're painful, you don't want to do that, and he's doing that pretty well. So, I mean, I feel like, I don't know how, you know, he's not a dog that has to rush into surgery. You know, any dog, from the moment they're born, there's a chance they're going to have disc disease later on in life.
Mm-hmm.
That is, you know, we see it all the time here. Disc disease is a very, very common thing, you know, but this is not a dog that's running into surgery right now. And the thing that you guys have to do, you know, but people that adopt this dog would have to be aware that there was a potential trauma at some point, and it did make him a little bit weaker in the back, a little bit ataxic. I say ataxic, it's not weak. It's in coordination, and it's making him do that, so they do have to be very cognizant of that. And you know, the cervical leads, let's get rid of those. Harness. So they'll just have to kind of be one of those clients that gets that. But you know, I can't guarantee that it's not going to get worse, but I don't know that it's going to get worse.
Is like movement, I mean obviously like he moves funny, so again he's not gonna, can he go hiking, or is it really just up to him as far as like amount of stuff he can do?
I mean, you know, it's like I would, if there is, whatever is compressing on the spinal cord, I mean, activity does have to be somewhat limited. He can still walk around and have a good time, but when we see inflammation getting worse there, we see signs that are getting worse too. So if you have a dog that's going out and having this wonderful time on a hike, it might be okay during that time, and you might notice that they're getting worse. You know, we want to kind of keep whatever's going on in here at bay. So I would say that it would have to be some kind of, you know, somebody who understands that things have to sort of stay, you know, at a moderate level or lower. You don't want to really max it out on a hike and go crazy and running in the yard all the time and stuff. So,
playing with other dogs, like again, he can just monitor.
I mean, look what he's doing to me
right
now. What seems very comfortable for him. I mean, you know, we can't stop him from doing. We're not going to because he's a puppy. But you know, the people whoever has him has to make that decision and understand that as much as he may want to do certain things and as much as they might want him to, it might not be the best thing for him.
And if there is if it gets worse, do you see like an age that it kind of starts to, no, okay.
No. But I mean, if, we can see changing signs, depending on whatever that is, because a disc is malleable. I kind of wonder, I really wish we could do some x-rays or something on him just to see. I mean, you're not gonna take a dog like this to surgery. You take a dog that can't walk to surgery,
Yeah.
because there are dangers involved in surgery. You don't do that unless, we're not gonna do an MRI, we're not gonna put $10,000 into this dog. That's not, it can get worse if you do an MRI, positions.
Okay, right.
Anyway. So, and he's so happy and he's comfortable, and,
It might just be a goofy, retarded dog.
Yeah, so it's one of those like watch it and it may never be worse than
it may never be worse.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there are no guarantees for any dog. So it's not that we have to do anything that special.
Yeah,
Just whoever has him, whoever adopts him, will have to be a special person
right.
who understands that there's the potential for it. And I feel like people like that.
Yeah, he definitely would
Watch
be.
that.
Yeah, he's so goofy that it's a special group of a
I'm
doctor.
pretty
Yeah.
sure that there's compression in the spinal cord. And
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's here. And it could be a disc, it could be the vertebral bodies themselves. I feel like that was not how he was born. I feel like that is something he acquired before he got to you guys.
Okay.
So does he have disc disease? I don't think so. It's a possibility. But to me, it feels more of a trauma. Young, nobody knows his history. He was found on the street.
Okay.
And I think that there's nothing that we need to do right now that's heavy duty. I wouldn't put him into surgery. I mean, I would if there are resources at some point, whoever adopted him, would maybe want to go a little further just to see where we are, but it's not something, he's not in pain. The only time I feel like things need to be done is when you have an animal that's in pain and we need to stop it. This animal is not in pain.
No.
So.
Okay. And if you did an X-ray, it would reveal just if there was anything.
It could help us. You can't see a disc on X-ray, but you can see vertebral. They'll position it in such a way that if there is instability there, or they see that there's compression from and sometimes they can see things that are secondary to bulging discs. So they'll see narrow spaces and things like that. It's not a bad idea. It's a good thing to know, maybe a good thing to have a baseline because he's so young and we want to see how that changes as he gets older. But yeah, I mean, it would help us have more information, certainly.
Okay.
But we wouldn't need anything more than just a normal 10-month-old dog that they pulled from the shelter.
Yeah, and just, understand that he has some ataxia. We think it's a cervical lesion of some kind. We're not sure.
Would rehab help?
I would do it. I would do it, I could see him at lunch. I could do stuff at lunch.
Or even if it would help him.
A lot of sensory
Surgically.
Things.
Because
We
he's
could do
young.
things like icing his neck and doing neck traction and doing some laser on his neck. I mean, we could do it at lunch.
I'm gonna give you home exercise. But even if they have someone transport them, and we could even do it twice a week, I can pay for a package. It's not a big deal. But if it's something where he's young and he's neurological, and if we can get to it now, that because he's young, the nerves can regenerate
Potentially.
if
Mhm.
that
I
can
feel
help.
like to put,
Not to promise, but just the try, kind of thing.
yeah, I mean, if he starts to decline, and he starts to have trouble, that's a different thing, but, I mean, there's no guarantee that that's gonna happen, and I see a million dogs that come, that are perfectly sound when they're born, and they are not sound by the time they're 5 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you think, do you agree with me? Right, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect, it's just the way it is, huh?
Because I'm perfectly happy.
I think that this is a happy dog, and that's what I care about. And the way he's moving his neck tells me that his neck is comfortable.
Okay.
So, and there are things we can do, that are not expensive, that can help him, like icing the neck, things like that. It's just,
Yeah.
it's,
Just preventative.
yeah,
Vitamin E.
vitamin E.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it got worse, then there's a different decision that needs to be made. But I feel like as it stands right now, this isn't a dog that needs to be put down for this condition.
Right.
He's too
Okay.
happy and too comfortable and you know, but whoever adopted him would have to understand that there's the potential for something like this to get worse. We're not sure what it is. We're not sure how it happened. We think it's trauma
Yeah,
related. Yeah.
okay.
But, you know, again, we don't know that it'll ever get worse. So, I don't know. Hey, he's a good boy.
This is Chester getting needles stuck in him.
This is his temperament. This is the first time. And he doesn't care.
It's like, stick me all you want.
And you can feel it, so it's
Oh,
not like
yeah,
he's-
yeah. He's paralyzed or anything.
But also, especially when you get puppies in here, and hopefully he responds to therapy, he's also way better temperament-wise at being handled.
Do you have any clients that are looking for a dog?
We have, I mean, although, you know, Dave adopted Angel City Pits, most, that rescue that came here for treatment, and Dave ended